Hey Scrappy friends, it's Audrey. Thanks for joining me for day 3 of the Summer Scrappin series. Today my guest is Orange Girl, and she has joined me probably since the very first Summer Scrappin series I did. I love her pages. Please go check them out on her channel linked in the description below. So my goal today is to use up this collection and kind of do like a one and done. So use the last little bits I have. This is the crepe paper. I think it's called Poolside Collections from 2014. I made quite a few pages with it. I'm going to share a couple with you at the end. But you know, it's on its last legs here, and I love this collection so much, but it's time. It's time to use up what I can and then just get rid of the rest. I have so much other scrap stuff. So I pulled out all the papers and little bits, and I just took some time to go through what I had there. And I decided, after quite a bit of hemming and hawing, like I usually do with my page, is I am going to use the little diamond chipboard shapes as inspiration, and I am going to use diamonds on my page. So my photos, as you can see there, I kind of tall and skinny, and I purposefully printed them like that because the background on the sides was a little distracting, so I just narrowed them down just to focus on the subjects. And I thought that these tall, skinny diamonds would, if I put 3 of them like this, would help kind of bring focus to those 3 photos. So I showed you there, the cardstock I'm using on the background is not a plain white cardstock. It's called Cream Puff. It's my favorite off-white color. So it's the Basil Cream Puff cardstock. And so I have my 3 main diamonds there kind of anchoring my photos, which I love how those look. And then I'm going to put in these other little chipboard diamonds in there, and I've cut out some little bits, and I've gone through this die cut back, by the way, and all the other little bits I had, and I threw out the ones that I knew I would never use to kind of start paring down my stuff here, because, you know, 6 years to have a collection. I mean, I know we all have stuff in our stash a lot older than that, but I've used this quite a bit, and it's time to make room for something else. So, I felt like I wanted to add in a few more diamond shapes. I only had 5 chipboard ones, and it just kind of felt incomplete how I was laying them out there. So I'm going to go through, and there was a diamond shape in the die cut pack as well. But I'm just going to make a couple more. So I'm using some of the ones the pre-cut ones, the die cuts and the chipboard, as kind of templates just to cut other ones out of cardstock and other little scraps. I wanted to bring in a little bit more of this gold glitter. Some of the shapes have either the gold foil or the gold glitter on them. So I'm actually taking some of the die cuts and cutting them up. So there was a kite one I just cut the glittery part out of, so I could use that to make another diamond. And I'll do that here for a couple more diamonds. I'm also trying to balance the colors a little bit. Like, I notice right now there's not a lot of yellow in the bottom right, so I need to add some yellow on the right hand side. There's obviously a big yellow diamond in the left, but need a little pop of that on the right. Okay, so I will go through and just finish going with these diamonds here. I noticed that whenever I do this, I often end up with an odd number, and I don't intentionally plan on odd numbers, but something about the asymmetry of having an odd number of things just, to me, makes I know this is ironic, but make a page like flow and feel more balanced. Maybe it's because I'm gonna you know, balance out some of those diamond shapes with other embellishments, like the word splash there, for example. This pattern paper that has all these little cards and stuff on it, I'm honestly just using it. I don't really use those kind of things, those like the vintage label looking pieces. So I'm just using some colored sections of that paper for my little diamonds. And I'll probably just throw that away. Okay, so let me take these off, and I'm going to do some mixed media on my background. I'm kind of laying them off to the side so that they are in the same order that I had them on there. And I'm going to go through and add some white gesso. I know I chose an off-white paper here, and I'm going back over it with white gesso, but the white gesso actually dries pretty clear here, and it still looks off-white in the background. So once that dries, I'm going to use some blues on my background. I'm going to start with this Heidi Swapp Color Shine in Teal. Now, if you watch my videos, you know this is my most used color, and my teal Color Shine ran out a couple weeks ago, and my scrappy friend Dana, who has tried mixed media and decided that it's not her thing, she gave me her bottle of teal Color Shine, so that was very sweet of her. She gave me a couple other bottles too, so Dana, if you're watching, thank you for the teal Color Shine. I added in one of my other favorite colors is the Shimmers mint color. It's so pretty. I love the mint. It's a perfect mix. It just adds that touch of green to the teal. But I also love the shimmers. I love how they spray and they spread, and they're very subtle. But you can go more intense if you want to. So that's what I love about the shimmers. And I'll just splatter with, some of the other inks. So I decided to try something, and I realized I didn't hit record, but I used this Nouveau modeling paste. It's a shimmery paste with just kind of a spreading tool and a stencil here. I used this kind of chevron stencil because I liked the up and down movement, and I felt like with the diamonds and then the movement in my photos that was added to the theme of the page. By the way, that Nouveau modeling paste came, I think it's called texture paste actually, came from the July 2020 Hip Kit Club kit. And it's the perfect, look at how perfectly that matches the background color I had already put there. So I'm sorry I did not get that recorded. I hate when that happens. Sometimes when people call my phone and I'm recording, because I record with my phone, it stops my video and I forget to hit record again. So, or I don't realize what you didn't get to see. So I apologize for that. Okay, so I matted my photos on some pattern paper. I will distress the edges here. Oh, also, you noticed, or maybe you didn't, but I stitched over those big diamonds. And I did that because the chipboard pieces that came on the chipboard sheet, in the design of them, they have a little white stitched line in the design. Down the center. So I kind of wanted to mimic that, and so I machine stitched over these big shapes. I also machine stitched over the little cardstock diamonds that I made from the pattern paper as well. So just to kind of keep that look consistent across my diamonds. I realized the tips of the diamonds here, so you saw I put some foam on the back of each diamond, but the tips were kind of still flimsy, so I had to support them a little bit more with some craft foam. And the center diamond, because the two on the sides have bigger sections, I really only need this one strip of foam down the middle to support that. Okay, so there's my little diamonds I showed you that I've machine stitched over, and you can see the chipboard ones that I already have on the page there have that white line drawn right on, so, or painted or designed on there. So I think that adds to the consistency of those shapes. So I will go back through and just lay these out as I have them. And the cardstock ones I will pop up with some foam tape, or craft foam rather. And I'm just using my tape runner. My tape runner I think works the best with craft foam compared to liquid glue. The liquid glue doesn't dry very quickly on the craft foam. And I think the foam gets, just absorbs all that glue. So while I'm finishing up my diamonds here, these photos, by the way, are of my kiddos and their uncle, and they were taking a nice photo and then decided to try to push their uncle in the water. He kind of played, my brother, their uncle, kind of played along with it though, and oh, you got me, kids. But we went to go visit him at his lake house in Alabama, so we had a blast doing that last summer. And it was our first time there, and we surprised him. He didn't know we were coming. That's a whole different scrapbook page, but yeah, it was pretty awesome. It was for his 40th surprise birthday party, and he was shocked that we came down. So it was a great time. Okay, so I have added a cluster of embellishments over to the right. I used the little sunscreen thing because it's cute and I love it and I needed something there. And it was a very, very, very hot day, super hot. The water there is like bath water. It's like 85 degrees. It's incredible. So I just layered a couple of those bits. I added a little gold chevron, I guess. You can see it there on the yellow diamond. I wanted to add a little touch of yellow there behind the embellishments of the photo because, wait till my head gets out of the way and I'll show you why. I have a diamond in the top right that has a gold foil section. And then on the word splash, I have an arrow that's gold foil. And I wanted to complete my visual triangle of gold foiled things. So I added just a peek of the gold foil behind the photo on the left, on the top of the photo on the left. Okay, so what am I going to do now? Oh yeah, I needed a place for my journaling. I didn't just want to write it there. So what I decided to do is cut a smaller diamond, and I'm going to cut it out of the same cardstock that's my background. So it kind of blends in, but just kind of gives me a placeholder of an area to write. So I will add that in, and then I considered balancing that out with another off-white diamond on the left. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm just adding some a place for journaling, but then I'm like, gosh, I have to kind of balance that shape out. So I'll do some two tiny diamonds in just the white cardstock. I kind of like that actually. It kind of breaks up the blue a little bit in the background. And I don't show you this, but I also add in some sequins to the background for a little sparkle, but you'll see those on my final shot coming up here. So there you can see my journaling on the diamond. I've added the date, a couple sequins in there, and I love how this page came out. I love being inspired by my products. Notice no cut files on this page. I haven't made a layout without a cut file in a long time. No sketch, no other requirements, just me playing with my stuff that I have to get used up, and that felt really good. So I hope you enjoyed this process. And one last close-up here for you to see some of that texture and all those layers. So I thought I would show you quickly 2 pages I've also used this collection with. This was from last year's Summer Scrappin series, and this one was from way back in 2015. So my style has completely evolved since then. So I like to see how I use the same products differently over the years. So thank you so much again for joining me. Stay scrappy, friends. I'll see you tomorrow.